Hey, we're live. Hi everyone. I'll give everyone a couple of seconds to jump on. I don't know if this is like the best place in the room lighting wise, but it's the easiest for me. So I just wanted to go live because it's what I do, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about winter and like what my goals are after the cleanse. And if you're just jumping on, I wanted to just like share. I know that like some of my posts have been kind of confusing as far as like what I've been doing and like going, because I was like living in Oregon and then I moved and I was like road tripping. Hey Megan, and like no one knew what I was doing because I didn't really explain it very clearly. So I know that this the title of this video is my winter plan attack, but I also thought I would share with you guys. Hey Bree, if you're in the other room, you're not allowed to watch this. It's not fair. But I wanted to share like what I'm doing as far as like my move and stuff. So if you guys haven't been following me as closely, I was living in Bend, Oregon, and I decided my boyfriend and I decided that we didn't want to live there anymore, and winter was coming, and we both knew we wanted to move, and we've been talking about moving to Los Angeles for a while now. Hey Sarah, hey Christine. So we had a situation go down, and I won't go into the details of it, but our neighbors below us were like really loud. I don't know if you guys have had awful like neighbors living in an apartment or anything, but if you have, definitely tell me about it or comment below. But yeah, we had these really awful neighbors, and there was like this domestic violence like going on constantly, and just a lot of noise complaints. And I've never really been in a situation like that where I like had to try to get them evicted. And if you didn't know, it's like really hard to evict your neighbors unless there's like police involved. So we ended up having to call the police on them one night, and I called the landlord the next day. And at the end of it, when I was just relaying, hey Samantha, when I was just relaying what had happened with the whole like police being called and stuff, I kind of like broke down to my landlord and was like crying, because he was like, well, let us know if there's anything we can do to accommodate you. And I was basically like, I'm just not happy. And I was like, we don't want to live here, because like no one wants to like pay, you know, a good amount of money for rent and like have neighbors that you have to constantly call the cops on. So I said that to him, and then he goes, well, are you thinking about breaking your lease? And I was like, well, no, not really. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but I would like to get the fuck out of here eventually. I didn't say that. But so anyway, he said he would look into what he can do about breaking the lease and not having to charge us anything. So we ended up being able to move out of our apartment without having to pay anything. So we basically just decided to take our rent money and travel down to California instead. And Aaron and I had a wedding to go to. His uncle got married in Las Vegas, so we made our way down to Las Vegas, and then now we're staying with Christine, and Charlene's in the other room too. We're staying at their house a little bit outside of LA, like an hour and a half, and we're apartment hunting in LA right now. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and that's where we're at, and that's why we did it. And I guess I can talk about that another time, but I really just wanted to talk about winter, because the holidays are like usually the hardest for me, and they've been really hard for me in the past, and this will be my second like holiday season like sober from alcohol, and maybe it was the third. I think it's the third holiday season I've been sober. But last year, I remember it was like really hard, or whenever my first holiday season sober was like difficult for me. And I'm saying that because that relates to like a lot of like what the holidays looked like for me in terms of like what I was doing and stuff. So they were very difficult, and I don't know like what your guys' life looks like or what your lifestyle is like, because I don't talk to every single one of you every day. But let me tell you a little bit about what mine looked like back then. So I was living in Portland, and I didn't live with family, and I was working full time, and most of the time, like, I was like notorious at my work for using all of the PTO like way before, like within the first 3 months of the year. So by the time that the holidays came around, I was pretty much screwed when it came to like taking time off, and I was usually stuck in like whatever city I was living in. And so that's what happened. And what that usually looked like for me is I would have like Friendsgiving and you know, just like hang out with coworkers, and we would, like, I remember a couple Thanksgivings, my like tradition was to like eat Thanksgiving dinner at the bar. It was a really good restaurant, mind you. But I, like, October, mostly like November and December, like these last 2 months of the year, I just like drank and ate my way through it. And like lots of wine, because like you drink wine during the holidays, I feel like, and lots of food because there's like baked goods, and like sometimes family comes into town, or your roommates or whatever might have really unhealthy habits or whatever. And so like that's what it looked like for me. And I remember 2 years ago I was living with these roommates, and I love you girls if you're watching this, but I just, you know, we were going out a lot and we were drinking a lot, and it was just really hard on my body, and I was just feeling like really heavy and fluffy and like really foggy, and I didn't have a lot of energy, and I was hungover almost every day. And I just realized that like I kind of needed to like get my shit together because I wasn't happy about myself. And I was just like carrying like a lot of weight that I didn't like carry in places ever before. So I knew that like drinking had a lot to do with that. So anyway, the point of this is I'm gonna be like yelling in your face a lot and posting and just like reminding you that it might be like hard to be stuck in that lifestyle and to be stuck in that circle. And I totally get it, and I know it's not easy, and peer pressure is a real thing. And no matter how strong you, like how strong of, or like how strong your willpower is, it can be really tough. So, and a lot of people will like not support you, you know, they'll like want you to come out and have fun with them and whatever. So I'm going to just give you some quick tips to like remind you why you don't have to live that way, and why you don't have to like put yourself into a food coma for the last 2 months. Because if you think about it, 2 months, like over the course of your lifetime, if you do the same thing like at the end of the year, every single year, you're probably not going to be happy in 10 years. And those 2 months are going to add up. So yes, I think you should deserve yourself, or yes, I think you deserve to indulge yourself. I think I had too much caffeine today. But I also don't think it's like fair to yourself to just do what everyone else does. And if everyone else is like drinking and partying and eating a lot of food, you probably shouldn't be doing what everyone else is doing. So there's a way to like have both of the best of both worlds. So what was I gonna say? Like I'm not like an extremist, I'm not a personal trainer, I'm just a real person who like wants to be happy and confident. I'm not perfect. I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm like a normal person that likes to live their life, but I also like want to feel good about myself and want to feel energized and not live the way that I used to every single year, every single winter. So this is what I've learned from like beginning to like getting out of that to like how I'm living now. So I want to give you some tips. So in the beginning, one of the things that works best for me is to still do those things, because it's not realistic to just like change your life like that. So I would still do those things during the holidays. Like I'd still go out with my friends, but I would like pretend to drink. And I know it sounds really weird, but if people ask, like I would tell them, but I would order like, and I still do this sometimes. Like we went out to, I think, Sizzlers the other night with Aaron's family, and I didn't just want to drink water, and so I ordered soda water with like a splash of cranberry and a lime, because that was kind of like the mixed drink I used to drink. And so I ordered, when I was first trying to get healthy and not drink too much, I would go out and I would just drink those. And so I was like still a part of the like my social life. I still like had that because I wasn't willing to give that up yet. So that's one tip. You know, drink more water, of course. Working at home was a thing that really saved me. Getting that out of the way, because you tend to not be like as hungry or want to eat bad every single day. So I really just dived into my workouts, and I remember like so many people around me were telling me that they were just gonna wait until the holiday season was over because they didn't want to set themselves up for failure because the holidays are coming. But what I realized is that the holidays come every single year. I don't feel good now, I'm not going to like regress even farther and just wait until the new year to like work on my goals, because that doesn't make sense to me in my head, and it didn't then. So I decided that I was still gonna live my life. You know, I wasn't gonna like ditch all my friends and like totally like move to a new state or anything, you know, or like move to a new town. So I just decided to like keep my lifestyle, but just like make a few modifications, so that way when I woke up on New Year's Eve or on New Year's Day, I didn't have the same boring resolution that every single person does to like lose 20 pounds. I could like already feel pretty good and just like tweak a little more things and go a little bit harder and like jump into the New Year resolutions with everyone else. So I decided to start a fitness program and do my fitness every single day, even though I knew that my nutrition wasn't going to be as on point as other times of the year. But this was huge for me because I you know, I was able to do it at home. It was only 30 minutes a day, and it wasn't a huge lifestyle change for me. So I think having the support, because a lot of the people that were in my real life weren't like the people that were in my support group. And so if you don't know, I run communities where you can join a private group here on Facebook run by me or a couple other of my leaders who will, who are all kind of like-minded. You know, they don't want to live the same way that everyone else usually does through the holidays. So that group really helped me like stay motivated and realize that I wasn't alone and that people were still slipping up too, but we had a place to get back to. So that really helped me. And then also because I was living in Portland at the time and I was prone to depression and I had just gotten off my medication. So I was like worried I was gonna like slip back into the winter blues. So I made sure that I read like a lot of personal development and like reminded myself of my worth, and those other people in that community helped remind me of why I was worth taking care of myself. And then like I just want everyone to know that the holidays are 2 days. You know, we have Thanksgiving and we have Christmas. They're 2 days, so you don't have to like skip them or like forego them or whatever, but you don't have to eat a week before Thanksgiving and eat leftovers for a week. Like, you don't have to do that. And that made me feel so much better, and I still got to hang out with my family and whatnot. So I think that's all I really wanted to say. Does anyone have any questions about like the holidays or anything? Hey Danielle. Hey Allison. Yeah, so if you have any questions, I'm also doing like a private behind the scenes into coaching later tonight in I think like 3.5 hours. So if you're interested in what I do as a coach, you can tune into that Q&A. I'll post the link to that group in these comments, but it's free, and I'm just going to basically be talking to you about like what I do every single day and how you can do it too. But yeah, so if you do these things, like your friends or family might not like support you all at once, because that's not the person that they like felt like, whether it's your significant other or family or friends, that's not the person they know who like turns down going out, or who's like not getting drunk, and who's like not having hangovers every single day, or who's not you know, ordering Domino's and like eating it on the floor with you. So it might seem weird that people don't support you, but here's how you get people to support you: is you keep showing up for yourself and you get results. And if you stick to something long enough, people will start to see that it's making you happy, and then they will support you. So like, for example, my family didn't know that I was like super into health and fitness right away, because I had only been doing it for a few months. But then eventually, for like Christmas, I started getting things like, you know, the heart rate monitor watch, and like fitness clothes, and like spandex, and, you know, gift cards to Whole Foods. So like, the people around you will change too. You just have to stick it in long enough to let people know it's not just a phase. And you don't have to they don't have to support you. Like, your actions are what gets people to get on board with you. So that's basically it. And I hope you guys decide to be different, and don't be afraid to set goals now, because you can get really, really far in the next 2 months and wake up a completely different person on New Year's Day, and be proud of yourself. And yeah, that's all I have, and I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. And I'll see you tonight in my behind the scenes into coaching.